The next question, where to date, except for dating apps, please? Okay, so since you guys had questions about dating, you might expect me to talk about dating. But I'm gonna say a few things. One is dating. I don't think dating is necessary to end up in the kind of romantic situation that you want. I don't think dating is particularly efficient. I think there's a lot of formalities and customs and old baggage that gets in the way. So I'm not, even on our Smart Singles Intensive, the people accepted into that program know that they don't have to date. They don't ever have to date. Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to end up where you want to end up. But where to date, like where to look for people to date, I would also recommend that you don't do that. I recommend you don't go looking. I would say live your life. Do the things you love to do, the things you're passionate about doing, the things that give you joy, the things where you're expressing who you really are. And then here's the important part. Look up. Look up and notice who's noticing you being you. Notice who's you being you. So when we had all our workshops live, we had live panels of men in our courses, and they would come to our courses and they would respond to questions that the participants put in. And one woman asked a panel of men, if a man is looking at you and keeps looking at you, why doesn't he approach? And the man who answered this question was like, okay, imagine Ryan Gosling in, I forget that movie, but that movie where just like the way he lowered his shoe was stunning, right? Like the way he put his foot down was stunning. So this man was very polished, very handsome, very composed. And he took on answering this question. He read the question out loud and said, well, if you weren't smiling, I wouldn't approach. What? Right? We think this guy thinks he's all that. He's going to approach anybody, right? He's going to be full of himself. No, if you're not smiling, I'm not going to approach. And then he says, and if I start to approach, I'm going to watch you constantly. Are you still smiling? Are you still smiling? Are you still smiling? And the moment you stop smiling, I stop approaching. What? So this is where we started to distinguish something really important. And I'm going to come back to it in this. How do you know if a guy just wants more than sex? So funny how it's worded. If he wants more than sex or he just wants sex, I'm not sure if those got merged. But in Making Sense of Men, it's the only non-fiction book I've ever published. It's actually a book, not an audio class. And I talk about the two different kinds of attraction that we need to understand. We need to understand how they work because they affect the man himself very differently. And one kind of attraction will have him approach a woman who isn't smiling because he just wants sex and he needs sex. It's like food. And they're not wrong or bad for needing that. And they'll keep coming, especially if they've had something to drink. They'll just keep coming even if she's not smiling. Just like there's not much to lose. But if he's the other kind of attraction where he's like, whoa, she's special. Then he's going to be looking, is she smiling? Is she smiling? Is she smiling? Because he's already gotten engaged emotionally. He's already like his heart skipped a little bit. And now there's a lot to lose. So Where to date? I'd be better where to dance. Where to dance, where to paint, where to camp, where to fish, where to swim, where to paddleboard, where to tennis, where to sunbathe, where to sit down and read a book and have a cup of coffee, wherever makes you happy. And then from time to time, look up and notice who's noticing you just being you. Try eye contact. Try a smile. You're not committing to anything except for you're encouraging him. And the encouragement is not a commitment. You're just giving him a chance. That's all you're doing. You're not committing to anything more than that with that eye contact and smile. So can you see how doing what you love to do would be so much more fun than dating? Dating's like two people in a job interview trying to get offered the job even when they're not sure they want the job. Ugh, it's too much work. And if you want to transform dating, it's called In Sync with the Opposite Sex. It's one of the most important things I've ever done, amongst many important things, frankly. And you can get it on our website, and it has like a slideshow of the most important points. So if you also learn by reading, getting it on our website is very valuable. And if you just want to listen, then it's less expensive on Audible, but you can get it there. And go to Amazon and you'll listen on Audible. So if you really want to date, that'll help you transform how you approach dating. The last part, right? Where to date except for dating apps, please. I've never been on a dating app. After Greg passed, I was going to sign up for a dating app, and then I realized I'm a public person. So I haven't dated. I haven't dated hardly ever in my whole life. And I haven't used dating apps, but I've coached many of my Smart Singles participants in how to have a dating app work for you instead of you work for it. So dating apps can be very useful, especially if you utilize get out of the messaging zone. Remember the friend zone? Well, in dating apps, the text messaging zone or the messaging through the app, if you really are interested in somebody else, tell them what I need to do next is talk to you. And if they respect that, great, let's set up a time to talk. Then that's a green light. If they blow that off, the end. Just telling someone what I need next is to talk to you, whether you're a man or a woman. How they respond to you saying what you need will tell you so much of what you need to know about them. And if they don't care what you say you need, they disregard it, go no further. Seriously, it's going to be awful. Even if you're just getting together for sex, they won't care about what you need. So you can actually use apps to be a help in filtering for you, in finding out, do people follow instructions? Do people care when you say what you need? And if you're going to set up talking, don't have it be an interrogation. People hate interrogations. If you're going to ask to talk, tell them something you'd love to hear more about from their profile, and they get to pick. Any of these 5 things I would be honored to hear more about. Oh, this isn't going to be an interrogation. Well, I want to talk more about sailing. Okay, I'm going to set up a time to talk to him, to talk to her. Let's do it. You learn so much in such little time, such a short amount of time. If somebody says, no, let's just get together, meet in person, don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Well, I don't like to talk to people on the phone. Well, then how is this going to work? If we're only going to really connect when we can see each other, people's lives are too busy to connect enough. So dating apps actually, they can work really well. And I know happily married people, including my son-in-law and daughter, who met on a dating app. So They're not all bad. It's just having them work for you.